Okay, I was so focused in the first part, I didn't notice the time is up. So I will finish this very quick. So the last part, I said I want the point to be here because I want to draw the next line. So that's why I have to turn the square. So for the base square, I also have 4 parameters. Then I can set the colors later. So from here, what I did is to draw this pattern first. Then I draw 4 single pattern, which is for loop in range 4. And then I have the second pattern, which has the function of draw half color square 2. After I finish this pattern, as I said, I want turtle go to the next line to draw another line. So I have turned the square here. So same here as second line. So I use the Boolean to define which line need to use the specific function. Actually, it's not each line. It's like each square. So here is the single colored square, which is draw single colored square. And we can say we have the 6th square also have the single color. So that's why if I equal to 0 or I equal to 5, it will run the function of single color square. And then for this pattern, I will run the square one because this one is the same as this pattern. The only difference is the color. So same here. When I equal to 4, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, I have to use the second function of half color square, which draws this pattern. And for second and the third one, it is the single color square, which is blue. And then I also have this turn the square function to turn the turtle to the next line. And same at the third line, fourth line. Actually, they are the same. So we can say the first one, if I equal to 0 or equal to 5, it is gray, the single square. And then if I from 1 to 4, it's actually blue single the square. So I use single color square. And then I have this function too. And the 5th one actually is symmetrical with the second one. So look at here, we have second here, fifth here, but actually they are pretty similar. The only difference is the pattern. Like here we have another pattern instead of this one. So when I equal to 1, it will run second instead of the square 1 here. So other things are pretty same. And also the top square. This top square is pretty same with the first line here. The only difference is the pattern, as I said. So instead of square 1 here, it is square 2. Because when it comes to the top square, so we don't want it to continue drawing here. So we want start from here and draw the next 2 ones. So that's why I didn't have to turn the square here. So now we need to draw the single pattern, which is the whole 6 lines of the squares. So what I did is put all the functions from the first one to the top one here. Then I can, in this step, I can have the single pattern of this one. And this is a triple pattern, which means because I want to continue in drawing the 3 single pattern of this one. So I have this function. I loop for 3 times. And I just use the single pattern here as a helper function. But the thing is, I need to be aware of the point I start. So I want every time it go back to here and start drawing the new single pattern. So that's why it needs to pan up and turn right for 90 degrees. Forward side multiply for 5, because as I said, so for the top one, we don't have the turn of swell. So that means when it finishes, it will stop here. So I want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and put the point here, which I want to start the next single pattern. So this is triple pattern, which I have this one. So I think the most important part of this project is if you have a single pattern. If you have a single pattern of this one, it's really easy for you to figure out the whole pattern. So now I need to demonstrate here the basic pattern. So the basic pattern actually is the patterns here, all 9, actually it's 3 multiply 3 squares. So this is our basic patterns. So before I have the triple single patterns, so which is here. So I wanted to start drawing the next layer, which is here, and then the top layer. Loop for 3 times also, and use the triple pattern as the helper function. And when I finish drawing the first layer of this one, I need to pan up and left 90 degrees. So actually I'm here. No, the turtle is here. So it need to turn left 90 degrees and forward. So now it's forward this length. So that's why it's size multiply 6, and then you left 90 degrees. And size multiply 18 is because you have 3 this single pattern. So it's 3 multiply 6 multiply size is 18 multiply size. And then you turn right. When you get here, you turn right 180 degrees, and then you can start drawing the next layer. So from here, I have the basic pattern, which means good, because I want to shift the colors later just using this pattern. So here is another one set pattern, which it has 4 basic patterns of this one, but has the different colors being shifted. So also has 4 parameters. It only needs to loop for 2 times because we have that means we will have 4 basic patterns. So here just use the basic pattern and then turn when it finishes, it will all the way come here to start another pattern which has different color. So I switch the color here, which is easier. And then so for here I have this pattern, and I have the next one close to it, but it's shifted color. So here it's turning to gray, and other things like before it's gray, it will turn to blue, and if it's gray, it's blue before, it will turn gray. So then I have four single pattern that composed of one set pattern. Then the next thing I want to do is to copy this pattern to the all the way through the 4th floor. Looks like the chest, but different colors. So the colors are shifting all the time. So here we have the whole pattern. As I said, it needs to go all the way to the top. So here we have the one set pattern, which has 4 basic patterns with shifted colors, and here we just copy it. But the thing is, the color is shifting. So I just loop for 2 times, because we have 2 multiply 2 is 4. We have 4 multiply 4 squares. One set pattern, so I just use the helper function of this one. The difference is color, as I illustrated before. The thing is, it's the same every time I finish the line. For example, if I finish the bottom line, I want to turn it to the next layer, which I want to go over all the 4 patterns length, which has 72. So I can run my code here. So it ends up having the pattern like this. So this is one set of patterns, which is made of 4 single patterns, and then the next layer is just color shifting, and all the way to the top. So I think I forgot to illustrate so at the end of the code, I just use one function, which is whole pattern, to evoke my code. I set blue and gray because I want to it starts with blue to draw the triangle here, and gray of another part. So then I just follow the function to shift my colors.